This is the cheapest non-reference GTX 780 on the market right now, and I got it for just 40 euros in a plastic bag with nothing else. It was advertised as working but repaired, which means one thing, that the working status is at best questionable, and I might be already 40 euros down in 2019. Nevertheless, let's see if this thing actually works and if we can repair it. This particular graphics card started in life as an ASUS GTX 780 DirectCU2 OC edition with an initial price of $700 US. It had 3GB of video memory, a custom cooling system and a core clock of 890 MHz. However, that was such a long time ago. And because I really want to make sure that those 40 euros are really down the drain, I didn't even bother to check the thermal compound, pads, or to check if the VRM heatsinks are in good contact with the chokes. I just don't want to mess up that exquisite repair that it apparently has done. Plugging in the last power connector, we can at least see that the power status LEDs are working as intended. I take it as a sign that this graphics card is totally ready for extreme overclocking, mark my words. Okay, hitting the power button, the RAM goes through its cycles, the motherboard shows everything's okay, and that's not that good. And that's a memory issue, which they said that they repaired something into the core, but somehow it's having artifacts in terms of memory. This is bad. This is very bad. So we have established what should have been the obvious, that this GTX 780 is not doing that well. Now let's investigate and see what sort of repair has actually been done on this card, and let's see what is the internal conditions of these graphics cards. So now let's disassemble this thing and see what happened and if we can fix it. Removing the cooling system is easy, way easier when compared with the new graphics cards. Only 4 screws hold in place the whole assembly. This means heatsink, fans and fan shroud. With the cooler removed, it's pretty obvious again that this video card has had a rough life and that repair looks a bit of a botch job. Starting with the thermal compound application, it's okay-ish, although it looks like there is more thermal compound on the sides of the die than it is on the center, so this might be some uneven applications. Nevertheless, it couldn't have hurt the graphics cards that much. But that is just the tip of the iceberg, because the VRM heatsink is not properly installed. Just look at this amount of play. This was making contact with the chips by only having the cooler of the video card pressing it down. I am reaching disappointment levels that shouldn't be reached, and this is confirmed by the marks left on the fins of the cooler. Clearly, the only thing that was holding that heatsink in place was the cooler pressing down on it, and these things were actually rubbing against each other. The VRM components look good and have no marks of wear or some sort of intervention. There are no black spots to be found on the chokes or blown capacitors anywhere. Going over the memory chips, it is clear that from the uneven marks around the PCB and memory area that this graphics card has had some sort of reflow job done to it. It might have worked in the past for a while, but now it is pretty much clear that the repair didn't hold up in time. But wait, there's more. Judging by the state of the cooler, it is clear that this graphics card was actually dropped. The whole cooler, fan and fan shroud assembly are bent into shape. Also, take a look at the heat pipe and the way it has caved in. This might have been already cracked. It is also safe to say that the fan shroud is not straight anymore, and I'm not sure that I can make it straight. And the final surprise is regarding the two 95mm fans are not sitting correctly on their axle, or the whole axle and rotor assembly has been bent out of shape. Nevertheless, the fans are not centered anymore, and as a result, both are rubbing against the metallic shroud. Absolutely excellent. And what did we learn from this? Well, that a used graphics card that has been overclocked should be the least of your concerns, because there are much more serious issues that a graphics card can hide. The good thing is that this is the only questionable graphics card that I've bought. Well, about that...